Well, I got this, broke this door open, and you can see the cardboard. It's kind of stuck in here with a Bondo. So what I'm going to do is take my board sander, and I'm going to sand this down a little bit, because I've only got like very little room in here, razor blades worth. I gotta fix this door. It's hitting the floorboard on the side there, but I'll just trim this all down with a board sander. You can see I got quite a bit of Bondo right here. It's probably a good 1/4 inch. I can't have it sticking out, so I got to get this cardboard out of here and make this flush against the metal. But the first thing is take the board sander and clean it. Well, I just took the board sander on the inside here, cleaned up the cowl part, and you still see it's a little rough here on the door. And get this thing open, and I need to now clean this edge up. You can sort of see the cardboard in it, but this one's good. I've got a little bit of cardboard in it, not much, but this all needs to be a solid piece across here, otherwise it'll break, and I have to round this corner. But first thing you got to do, take the board sander and clean this edge up. Alright, now I got both of the edges clean. You can see I got about a 1/4 inch gap in here, but I've got hard Bondo edges. Let me show you here. There we go. They're square, and these will break off if you hit them or something. So this has got to be rounded off and tied into the body good. But I still got a lot of lows in here to fill. But it's good and straight. So now I'm going to try to fill this again, and try to keep my body putty out of here so I don't have to redo the gap. But here on the inside, I need to clean up whatever this is, taper it a little better, and fill this so it's all one piece. You can see a little bit of cardboard right there. I got to get that out. It's out a little here. I need to fill this hole down here. I might as well just fill this with Bondo. I probably ought to do some welding here, but I think if I put patch in here and tack it, I won't really be burning away my Bondo. That's quite a bit right there. You know, that's 3/8 of an inch probably. But I had to do something to fix this curve, and you can see here on the door it's probably a 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little less. More Bondo than I would like to put on, but as long as it's tied in good and sanded, it won't come off. It won't take a hit with a hammer or anything. But there we go. The thing is, I had to do something to get this side straight. So if it's 1/4 inch Bondo, it's 1/4 inch Bondo. So I'll fill this up with what I got left. We'll see if we can get this door finished here before I move on to the next thing. Well, I took a little bit of chewing here. I got this body line here kind of cut into both sides. I've got a low spot right here I have to fill up. I don't know how I'm going to transition these two right here, but and then I got this low spot here. Up here it turned out pretty straight. I was able to get it sanded off well. I need to continue this Bondo up in here, but what I'm mostly trying to get is this area, and I'll do that with being careful and not getting a lot of Bondo into the crack. But I just need a little bit of fill in this area and a little bit right in here to try to get this section lined up good. Need to sand that bottom a little better there. Well, this is pretty much done. I got this bottom one covered up where I think it's sand. I started working on this area a little bit. This is curved in, the door's curved in. If I try to make them flush, I'll wind up with a big pile of Bondo like I did up here. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to make them both smooth. But I was able to fill this door up good and hit that low spot. I got a little Bondo now in my crack. I don't really care about that because I've got a crack, I can cut it out. But I'm just trying to get a straight surface across here, and it looks pretty good from here. So I'm not gonna do anything into this, not trying to shape it or anything. I'll wait until it dries really hard. And I've got a curve right here. I'll probably have to shape this by hand. Anyway, another little coat of Bondo. I had ground that bottom pipe off there the other day, so I threw a little more on that, and just working in this general area. Bondo work is boring. I took a little break from the Bondo here, and I wasn't really sold on this blue-black paint. So what I did was I mixed this up. I ordered some thinner because brushing it on left, pretty bad stuff in it. And so I decided I'd try to spray paint it and see what it looked like. And I got this thinner, and here it is here. Clean strip. And it looks like milk. It says it's supposed to be for oil-based paint, stain, and varnish. It does work, and it will clean your hands. And I mixed it up in here. with my old paint and run it through a strainer, and I used it in these little chinesium spray guns. The first one I put up, I put paint in it and it was just pouring out. It turned out the body was cracked right there, so I just put some JB weld on it. And I only ordered one of these things, but they sent me two. Both of these are full of thinner right now. You can tell I got a good gun holder. But anyway, I mixed this paint up and used that thinner on it, and I shot the inside of this. Now this has been undercoated, which leaves a little rough edge, but it's paintable, and you can see down in there that it's pretty shiny where it was on good metal. I probably used one gun on each side, a few ounces. The paint is good enough for what I'm doing here on the inside, but and it's about 3 hours later. Still a little tacky. Normally this stuff dries pretty good in 2 hours. And I tried a couple things with the paint. Now this one here was painted before, and I did hit this with a 40 grit on a board, or DA, and I just sprayed this on here to see what it would look like. Of course it's going on real thin with a gun, but you can see you really see the sand marks in this thing. This is completely unacceptable. And another part I did was up here in front. Now this was over some fairly smooth Bondo. It's been board sanded with 40 grit, but you can see here where it's this area where it looks dark is where it had Bondo, and some on the metal. I sprayed it right onto metal here for these two clamps I made on the hood, and I was able to pour it on pretty thick and they were clean. So this actually don't look that bad, but it looks like it'd be better to brush it on rough surfaces. But that on bare metal seems to work pretty good. Not so much on Bondo. It kind of goes into the Bondo itself. You can see right in this area here, it's pretty shiny. So if this was prepped right for a paint job, this paint would probably work okay. But it's not really covering up any kind of sandpaper scratches. I did the inside of this trunk lid here. And it looks alright. It's a dark blue. The more I put on it, the least I like it. So I've got most of a quart left, This seems to work better where it's not undercoated. So I've got basically the whole rest of the inside of the car up here. This all got to be painted. I didn't try any on that good firewall up there. This was just an experiment, really, to see what the paint's doing with that thinner in it. It's kind of strange thinner. There's no smell to it, there's no fumes, which is a good thing, but it's kind of strange. It's almost water-based, but it does work as a thinner, and it does clean up your tools, what it's supposed to do. So just not what I'm used to. I'm sitting here looking at this big hole in the shock. I need to do something with that. That's just too ugly. Yeah, this one too. I still got quite a bit of work to do back here. I'm going to put a gas tank in it. And I did spray a little right here on this undercoated hood. And you can see that it's, of course, coming out of that gun, I had it pretty thin to spray. So I'd say that would be half of a coat, but I'm not liking that color at all. It's I don't know, something about it I don't look like. It's kind of okay out here. I'm just going to use the rest of that cord up for basically covering rust. And for the car itself, I'm going to use a real automotive acrylic enamel and primer it. I think I already showed you this. This is looking real good. I just have a little bit of hand sanding to trim up this stuff. Now, I don't have much Bondo left, but I'm gonna rough this up. We're in about 1/8 of an inch, and I'm gonna use the rest of my Bondo up here on the door, and I'll set you up on a tripod and you can watch the work. Well, I don't have anything real special here. What I did do is get me a piece of cardboard, because I've got a real tight door gap here, and I cut this off more or less flush with the edge of the door, and I'm using a kind of a thick piece of cardboard, just trying to jam it in here so it'll be pretty strong. And then I'm cutting it fairly straight with the edge of the door. And it's sticking out a little in a few places. I'm not trying to get any more Bondo on here. On this back part, it's good, but it's kind of hard to tell that you got it level when you if you got a big piece of cardboard. Alright, I got my bundle mixed up here. This is probably way too much. But I got some other stuff I can fill with it. I'll just get it mixed up good here. I found that editing this thing last night, the last one I did with the power tools running, when you try to fast forward it, the volume doesn't change on the video, and it sounds really loud. Anyway, I probably spent 2 or 3 hours working on the video. I've got this mixed up good, and first thing I'm doing is I'm putting it on with pressure, so it's being forced into all the scratches where I sanded it, and it'll stick well. Once you've got your Bondo on the car and sticking, then you can start working on what kind of shape you want. Alright, so that's on there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just fill this whole area up. Hopefully if I do this with one coat, I don't have any more Bondo. It's filling pretty good. Right up here on top of the door, you don't really need it. Got a lot of Bondo left here. Now I'm just trying to hopefully not leave myself any low spots. Got a little right here in this corner that needed some. I've got some little edges down here in this bottom. It needs a little. I'm just basically cleaning up my rough Bondo here, and now I've got a place up here in front. I don't know if this will show you this. It's where I made this too late. Bondo just hardened up. That's it. Let's see how much I wasted. A lot. That was probably half of what I had. So another little trick. It's not a trick, but if you got something like that, it'd be almost impossible to wipe this Bondo off of here. So let me get this a little better light. So what you go